When we gardeners want color, we want color. And it doesn't matter if it's in winter or spring, summer and fall. Here in Southern California, we can have it all. We can have color the entire year. Hi, I'm Suzanne and I'm here from Rogers Gardens. Today we're going to be talking about flowering plants in the winter. Here in Southern California, our cooler weather doesn't really begin until the end of October, and so we consider that our winter, but really it's still fall. So when I'm saying winter color, I hope you understand that winter basically for us starts at the end of October and goes to about the end of February. Not really a natural calendar winter. So winter in Southern California, it can be cool, it can be cold, it can be warm, and it can even be hot. But I think all of us here have this idea of an evening out in the garden or on the patio or on the balcony in the back of our minds year-round. When you have the luxury of pretty good weather year-round, you can always find a way to add some color into your garden. And I'm going to show you some beautiful plants that can help you out. First up, we're going to be discussing some of the classic annuals that we plant here in Southern California. And again, I want to remind you, this video is specifically for people who have weather like us around here, which is year-round planting available. Of course, I think the biggest classic that we have here are cyclamen. Cyclamen are a great way to add a lot of seasonal holiday color. A lot of people plant the white and the red, but also, you know, the pinks are gorgeous, the lilacs are pretty, and there are so many different kinds of the cyclamen. There are some small scented ones. They're just beautiful. And they do last a long time if you place them in an area that only gets a little bit of sun. They can actually last, you know, through the year, but for the most part we plant them as an annual. So we've got these whites, we've got these really pretty little deep pink ones, and they are just a classic here in Southern California. Another one that we like to plant here, this isn't a flower of course, but this is an ornamental cabbage, and we also have an ornamental kale. These are gorgeous, and other than the fact that you really want to take care to not plant them until it's really cool in the evening, because these will bolt. Like lettuce and things like that, the flower, if it gets too warm, the flower will shoot out of the end. So you want to be, again, just be super careful about planting them when it's cooler in the evening. Otherwise, you'll have to replant them again. We also have our favorites here, which are violas and pansies. These are a great cool season plant that'll last a really long time, probably through spring, as long as the weather stays relatively cool where you plant them, and they come in so many colors. They're just gorgeous, and they really just go with so many things. You can plant them with other plants as well. And then a perennial annual favorite are primroses. Primroses come in so many colors, so many ways to plant them. There are different kinds of primroses. These upconicas are really beautiful, and then the fairy primroses, which are the malacoides, also really cute with that little stem that shoots out. Really, really nice. And then there are anemones. And a lot of these plants you're going to plant earlier, so late fall, but the anemones you're going to plant probably December forward, because they don't like it super cold, but they are cool season plants here in Southern California. Anemones come in so many beautiful colors, and these tubers, for the most part, although you could dig them up, most people just use them as an annual here. And stock or phlox, these are so pretty and they are so fragrant. These are just a sign of spring for so many people and so many ways. These are amazing. Just love them. And last but not least, we have snapdragons. These are little short ones, but you can get taller ones, and they're great because they really excel in cool weather. They look tons better, and although they'll grow through the summer, they really like the cooler weather best. And on to perennials. So the classic perennial color for your garden in the cooler seasons are camellias and azaleas. They are perfect for that little area with morning sun and afternoon shade, and they provide so much color. But the really nice thing about camellias and azaleas is that even when they're not flowering, they have beautiful leaves year-round, and so it's a great addition to your garden. Other perennials that people don't usually think about when they think about cooler season color are things like rosemary. This prostrate rosemary or ground cover rosemary really covers a lot of area, and these beautiful blue flowers are so uplifting in cooler seasons. We also have things from the southern hemisphere, so things from South Africa, things from Australia and New Zealand, but these are leucodendrons, and this is leucospermum. This has that beautiful pincushion flower, and these are kind of like little gumdrops on the top. And most of the year they're going to be a green color, but in this cooler weather or their summer weather, they really color up a lot. Another thing to consider for kind of more shady areas are things like hellebores or Lenten rose. These flowers are gorgeous. They come in these beautiful double whites or whites. We have the gorgeous pinks, and some of them get a little purple as well. We also have columbine or aquilegia. These are beautiful, beautiful plants that will come out. All of these will come out in the cooler weather and then kind of die back in the summertime. But these columbine are just such a beautiful way to kind of bring a little natural color. These are hybrids, but there are some native Californian aquilegia as well, so you might want to include those in your garden. So also a great little harbinger of early spring is Hardenbergia vine. This vine has now kind of been hybridized so that it is evergreen most of the time. Before, it would kind of lose all of its leaves and not be much to look at year-round, but now we have this gorgeous happy wanderer. And Hardenbergia comes in white or in purple. They have a pretty fleeting bloom, but it is so impressive. It's a great way to have color in your garden early in the season. And of course, here in Southern California, we cannot forget our beloved succulents. Aloes love to bloom in the winter. You can see all these gorgeous spikes of orange that the hummingbirds love. We have this kalanchoe, which is also just like a chandelier of color, and then this euphorbia. Euphorbia is a cousin to the poinsettia. Poinsettias, of course, are brought in for Christmas time, and so they are great for cool season color. So at the end of this, we just want to remember, plant as late as you can, so when the days are cool, but the evenings are cool as well. You also want to make sure not to water too much in the winter. Sometimes the plants, the roots can rot out, and especially if you have tubers and things like that. Rain can affect the color, but just go on in and deadhead them and everything will look fresh again. I hope this video brought you some ideas for bringing color into your cool season garden. Again, I'm Suzanne. Go to rogersgardens.com for all of your shopping needs. We also have our Facebook, our Instagram, and our YouTube channel that you can subscribe to and get all of the information that you're looking for your home and garden.